What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today is a very long-awaited day that I've waited for a very long time. We are finally able to cover a One Piece chapter. If you don't know, One Piece has enveloped my mind for quite a long time at this point. Clearly, we can see behind us we have some One Piece related things, but we are current on the manga now, and we had a nice little Christmas surprise. The chapter scans were actually released today, and what a surprise it is, because I thought I wouldn't be able to cover One Piece chapter content until after the new year, but here we are. But before we jump into this video, I would like to say I hope you all had a Merry Christmas if y'all celebrated, and you had lovely time with your family. If you guys enjoy One Piece content and want to see more One Piece content like this, please guys show me some love in this video, because we have finally got here. We have read over 1,000 chapters, we've watched over 1,000 episodes, and we are finally able to cover all of our favorite series. Chapter 1036 had a lot of good information. As we know from the last chapter, the ending of 1035, we saw Zoro defeat King, but it wasn't truly confirmed that he defeated him until this chapter finally we have here. Some of the most important panels within this chapter really are Kaido asking King, "Do you still think I'm Joyboy?" We can see whenever King initially asked Kaido if he truly believes he can change this world, and Kaido saying he's the only one who can, we saw the light in Kaido's eyes, likely believing that he was Joyboy himself, a light in his eyes that was kind of reminiscent of Roger. But here we see whenever Kaido asks the same question, "Do you still think I'm Joyboy?" we see Kaido's face slowly has changed. He has this very visible stress vein running through his forehead, which I think is indicative of the fact that Kaido was finally realizing that he wasn't Joyboy. And Kaido asks if this is all that King thought that changing the world would consist of, but King tells Kaido that it doesn't matter what he does, as long as Kaido continues becoming the strongest, that King will not lose until Kaido is king of pirates. There's a few things to dissect from this. Firstly, King being a Lunarian, he knew of the rumors of Joyboy, and clearly Kaido right here is understanding that what he's doing isn't Joyboy, that he couldn't become Joyboy, but King doesn't care that Kaido can't become that. Instead, all he cares about is Kaido becoming the strongest. But as we know, to become the Pirate King, it doesn't just take strength alone. If being the strongest was enough, Whitebeard would have become the Pirate King. As we know, being a great captain takes a lot more than just pure brute strength. It takes leadership, charisma, but most importantly, a dream, and a dream that is unwavering. There's a lot of parallels between King and Zoro here. They're kind of two sides of the same coin. Both said that they will never lose again, but to be specific, King said, "I'll never lose again until you're the king of pirates," whereas Zoro says, "Until the day I beat him," referring to Mihawk, "to become the world's greatest swordsman, I will never lose again." These words here are stark differences. King is saying that he won't be defeated until someone else is the king of pirates, but what Zoro is saying is in reference to his own ambition. Until the day that Roronoa Zoro defeats Mihawk, he will never lose again. Their ambitions are different. This is the reason that it seems that King does not have Conqueror's Haki. King does not have the ambition to become the greatest. Instead, he is simply not losing until the dream of his captain is fulfilled. As we know with Zoro and the rest of the Straw Hats, they all want Luffy to become king of pirates, and they will help Luffy fulfill that, but they have their own ambitions as it is. Zoro aims to be the strongest. Zoro aims to be the conqueror. Conqueror's Haki is a natural progression of the desire to be the greatest at something. The ability follows the will of the individual, as it's been shown thus far. This is the difference between King and Zoro. Zoro will become the world's greatest swordsman, and King merely wants to fulfill Kaido's dream. Something super amazing that I noticed about these fights as well, particularly with Sanji and Queen, and now Zoro with King, Zoro cuts off the right wing of King. The symbolism here is very paramount. Zoro, the right hand of the future Pirate King, cuts off the wing of King. And Sanji, right behind Zoro, who is also the wings of the Pirate King, cuts off the left hand of Queen, thus symbolizing their status within the Straw Hats. And Zoro says if this is what it takes, not only to achieve his ambition, but to achieve Luffy's, he'll become the king of hell. And as a result, we finally see the defeated marker saying that Zoro has won this fight and King has been defeated. I really like Oda using these defeated markers because finally we know that the fight is completely done. You know, typically with One Piece, you never know if someone is truly defeated. And with these defeated markers, we finally know that Zoro has defeated King, and this fight was actually a lot faster than I thought it would be. But we now see that the Straw Hats are reaching the end game of the story in terms of their strength. We see Sanji and Zoro able to compete with the highest commanders on any Emperor ship. Given I'm a giant Zoro fan, this fight was absolutely brilliant, and I love the demonic theme that Zoro always represents, not only with his blades, but now becoming the king of hell itself. There's a parallel here to Rayleigh as well, as we know Rayleigh was the Dark King to Roger, and now for our future Pirate King within Monkey D. Luffy, we now have the King of Hell. God, the story is so good, and Oda is such a phenomenal writer for all this. Following the rest of the chapter, we see Cypher Pole say that winning is meaningless if the Emperors are still standing. This is kind of a giant discredit to Zoro, and that kind of annoyed me a little bit, but at this point, I think Cypher Pole should be shaking in their boots. It gives us a brief cut to Kid and Law versus Big Mom. I'm not sure how their win is going to take place. At the end of Wano, I truly believe that Kaido will be defeated and killed, like most likely, but I'm not sure if Big Mom will suffer the same fate. But we'll see as time goes on. Given that Kid and Law already awakened their devil fruits, I'm unsure how they can defeat Big Mom now that she even used another year of her lifespan in order to make herself stronger. Big Mom is super busted, and I wouldn't be surprised if she does escape from this arc. Another notable thing of this chapter was God Usopp's speech regarding the samurai blatantly throwing their lives away, and this has been a theme amongst the samurai. The samurai are always willing to die, and sometimes without the right cause. At this point, it kind of seems like they are suicidal individuals, but Usopp tells them to fight and live no matter what. No matter if it disgraces you, try to survive at any cost, because dying without the battle fully being done would simply be a waste. We also see Izo show up, and I'm not really surprised that Izo showed up, but what I am surprised about is when Izo reveals his back, we see the Kazuki clan symbol still on his back and not the Whitebeard pirate symbols like all the rest of the Whitebeard pirates have. This really shows Izo's loyalty to the Kazuki family, but at the same time, he hasn't been back to Wano in 20 plus years, so perhaps within the world of One Piece, there simply aren't tattoo removals, because I'm sure if there was, he would likely have the Whitebeard pirate logo on his back. On a lighter note within this chapter, Fukurokuju and Raizu play a game of chicken with some paralysis jutsu. This kind of reminds me of two little Shikumarus going at each other, controlling each other's shadow, and they're playing this game of chicken because the fire will reach both of them, and I find their fight kind of entertaining and really lighthearted compared to what else is going on right now. We're also shown a brief little glimpse with Hiyori and Orochi, and I'm very much so a believer that Hiyori will be the one to take off Orochi's head, and I think that would be very fitting. I'm really not sure how she got on Onigashima, but alas, here we are, and I'm sure we'll have these questions answered eventually. There was an off-screen battle that took place during this chapter within CP0 versus Apu and Drake, and we see that Drake was defeated, and CP0 gave some credit to Drake, saying that he was tough to deal with, but at the end of the day, think about it guys, Drake has been fighting for a long time, and he's clearly taken some damage, so it makes sense that Cypher Pole would defeat him. And CP0 received this message saying that the All-Stars were defeated, and it shows Zoro, Sanji, Killer, and believe it or not, it shows Beppo. I found that kind of funny. I know that Beppo is the right hand of Law, but at the same time, what has Beppo done in this fight whatsoever? I kind of find that a little bit of a gag as well. In the last parts of the chapter, we finally see part of the endgame that we've been waiting for, and the endgame that is now finally here. All of the Beast Pirates are defeated, all of the All-Stars are defeated, and that's left with just Kid and Law versus Big Mom, and then Luffy versus Kaido. A really poignant moment within these few panels of Kaido versus Luffy is Kaido asks, but can humans push themselves forever? Surely they've already reached their limit. I'm not sure if Kaido is well aware that Luffy outlasted the Katakuri, but I don't think it's a good idea to ever try to fight Luffy in a battle that is about attrition. Luffy will outlast anybody simply because of his will, and right here within this fight within Kaido and Luffy, this isn't just simply a fight to determine who will be closer to becoming the Pirate King, but also it is a dark parallel to two ideals. Kaido wanted to be Joyboy and he realized he couldn't. Luffy doesn't give a damn about whether he's Joyboy or not, which is exactly what I imagine Joyboy would be like. Joyboy wouldn't care that he is Joyboy, he just simply wants to achieve his dream. Luffy doesn't care about any of this fate or destiny. What he wants to be is the Pirate King. Kaido's so obsessed with the idea of Joyboy and finding Joyboy at this point, it seems, that now they are fighting to determine whose ideals will stand at the end of time. Luffy fighting Kaido, I actually see Kaido having an authentic smile for the first time in a long time. As we know, Kaido has become this drunkard who is suicidal and just wanting to seek annihilation and the destruction of the world, but we actually see him happy. And this could be perhaps that Kaido wanted all this chaos, he wanted all this destruction to bring about Joyboy because he knew the prophecy. He likely read Odin's writings, he knows what's to come, and maybe he's like, damn, I finally see that I'm bringing out Joyboy, that Joyboy is here, and that he can eventually die a happy man. Given this is the end game, I imagine that Kaido's backstory is coming up extremely soon, and I can't wait for it. I imagine that Kaido was likely betrayed because he always talks about pirates betraying one another, and that could be perhaps why he lost the light in his eye. There's also some more symbolism within this chapter that's revealed, with Robin, Zoro, and Sanji now having demon-themed abilities. I imagine this is because the Straw Hats are assembling demons and devils from hell itself to take down the gods. One Piece, as we know, flips the script. Pirates are sometimes good and the Navy's bad. The gods of One Piece are horrendous individuals. These gods aren't typically what they are within modern storytelling. Oda is further flipping the script, saying, yeah, hell itself full of demons and devils, yeah, they're going to be the good guys of this story. So that was all for today's chapter, and there was so much revealed, and we won't have another chapter for a while, which is really unfortunate. But best believe I'm going to be making more One Piece content surrounding more theories and things like that. I really want to make a video discussing how Kaido failed to be Joyboy. So if you enjoyed this One Piece video, I know there wasn't much editing, it's me just passionately freestyling on top of this. Please let me know in the comment section below and show me some love, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I'm so glad to be finally covering One Piece, and if you can't tell, I am damn excited about it. So guys, as always, be greedier, and I will catch you all next time.